So I'll ask you a question right now, and an important one, especially for my friends in South Florida, where I live. Are you voting for a communist today? Oh my God, you can't say. You can't say that. I didn't. I just asked a question.
Right.
I didn't assert any. I just asked a question, right? Joe, it was a question, right? I mean, are you voting for a communist today?
Yeah, it's a question.
Fair enough, right? Well, let's play this video. I have this under the very sophisticated, highly intellectual label. What up is this? I'm not kidding. It's actually because I didn't know what this is a video. Kamala Harris, if you are voting for the Biden-Kamala Harris ticket, this is a video Kamala Harris decided was a good idea to put on her Twitter feed yesterday. And I just ask you this. Are you voting for a communist today? Because this certainly looks a lot like some communist propaganda. Check this crap out, and I'll debunk it on the other side of this.
So there's a big difference between equality and equity. Equality suggests, everyone should get the same amount. The problem with that, not everybody's starting out from the same place. So if we're all getting the same amount, but you started out back there and I started out over here, we could get the same amount, but you're still gonna be that far back behind me. It's about giving people the resources and the support they need so that everyone can be on equal footing and then compete on equal footing. Equitable treatment means we all end up at the same place.
Joe, I'm sorry. Paula hates it. I'm very sorry, Paula, in advance. By the way, can you make an appearance on the show today with your MAGA hat? You look beautiful as always, but especially radiant today with your MAGA hat. Will you do that for us? She's still deciding. No. So decide. You got to be quick here. The show goes. This is a live to tape show. What did you say? Yeah, I know you're trying to change the camera, but still, we need an appearance by the lovely Paula today. But what's fascinating about this video is Kamala Harris pulls this rhetorical stunt you see by communists all the time, where they start the story in the middle. She says, equality and equity, these are two, but we're not all starting out at the same place. Gee, thank you for that invaluable insight. Joe, did you know that? I thought we all started out with the same, all of us. We're all born in the same neighborhood with the same set of genetically gifted parents who have obviously large bank accounts and, capital expenditure funds and working capital to help us go to the best schools. I thought that that's crazy. She just debunked a major myth for me. I thought we were all born at the same place at the same time with the same advantages under the same conditions with the same parents and the same genetics. Thank you, Kamala, for that bold, incredibly intuitive, genius statement that we're not all born in the same spot. Stunning. But what's fascinating is she says it, and obviously she's not talking about genetics and everything, because we don't obviously all have the same parents. I think, even some liberals get that. But they always start the story in the middle to quote the great Thomas Sowell, and I don't need to quote him. I'm going to play video of him in a second because I like these older videos that show you the ideologies that are at friction today. Two ideologies that can't possibly coexist are on the ballot today. Government's going to run your life or you're going to run your life. That's it. There's no in between. You understand that, right? You vote for Biden, turn over your kids' education, your health care, and your money to the government. You vote for Trump, you could take care of that yourself because you know better. That's it. Period. Full stop. But what liberals and communists do all the time is they start the story in the middle of the book and they say, well, not everybody's starting out on an even footing. There are some people born in poor neighborhoods. That is true. There are some people born with parents who maybe weren't as intellectually or athletically gifted as others. Let me ask you a simple question. If you wanted to play in the NBA, do you want Michael Jordan's parents or do you want Jordan Michael's parents? You want Michael Jordan, but that's not the way the cookie crumbles, folks. That's not the way any of this works. You don't get to pick your parents. There is inequity everywhere because the world is an inherently unequal place. That's the world we've been given. You will never, ever change that. So a lot of that's true, which is fascinating. Getting a little, what is that? What is that thing, Creep? Is that that's the Kenny bell, right? Yeah, that's, I always wonder when I see stuff. By the way, thank you to the family that sent me this cool rock thing. This is pretty cool. The GN The Giansantes? Thank you, Giansantes. Must be Italian. Love you. That fellow Italian. So, of course, there's going to be a certain amount of inequality in the world where people are born into unequal situations. It's tautological. There's nothing she said there profound. But I ask you this. How did some of those people born into unequal situations, Joe, born into poverty, born into distress, born of single mothers, how'd they get there? I don't mean how'd they get there like, I mean, that's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
I mean, how did they get there in that situation? Why are their parents poor? Why are they growing up in high crime areas? What caused those areas to be high crime? Don't you dare start the story in the middle, Kamala. People are born unequally, so we got to fix things. Okay. How were they born unequally? How exactly did that happen? Notice how she leaves that part of the story out. She starts the story in the middle of the book and leaves out entirely how the people born, Joe, into these unequal situations of poverty and high crime are born into neighborhoods run by liberals, the same liberal policy she wants more of. This is the gavel and the Kenny bell all at one time.
All right.
We're mixing stuff up now. The Adobe's like, Joe's going to have to clean that one up. The poor dog, poor Lucy. How did you find yourself born into a high crime neighborhood with terrible schools and poverty, with an awful healthcare system? Who did that? Republican mayors? It's got a name, this thing, starting the story in the middle. People are born unequal. Yeah, thanks, Kamala. We know that. It's called the unbroken leg fallacy. If you wouldn't mind, I'm going to give you a little homework today. I know it's busy, but you can read this in about 2 minutes, but it's critical. Go to Mises.org, the Mises Institute, and I have this up at my show notes today. Bongino.com/newsletter is how you access my show notes. The newsletter is, in fact, the show notes. Same thing. And I want you to read this article about the unbroken leg fallacy, because that's what it is. Kamala Harris is recommending, through her communist video, government interventions to fix a problem of inequality that the government, in fact, caused. It's like giving someone a poison. They go in for the antidote, and you go, no, give them more poison. That'll fix it. What?
You just heard Dan Bongino.